It's time for an all-new episode here of Blitz. I'm Brian Carter, your host, and alongside Coach John Hood, head coach of the Lady Raiders here at Habersham Central. Coach Hood, thank you, as always, for being on Blitz.
Thank you, Brian, for having us.
Now, there's a lot of buzz and excitement for your Lady Raiders team going into this basketball season, especially after a great finish you had last year, making the state playoffs into the Sweet 16. Talk about your comfort level as a team and as a coach with all that hype and buzz surrounding you this year.
Well, we'll never be satisfied with just, having a good year. We want to try to build a program, not just have a good team. And we think that we have a good nucleus coming back and we can be successful again. But as far as the hype, I don't know that there's really a lot of hype. I think the expectations have been established that we want to win and we believe we're going to win, and that's the way we go about our business.
Now, the thing about having expectations and excitement to start a basketball season is everyone gets that clean slate to start the year. So no matter how you finished last season, if you were at the bottom of the region or at the top, everyone's got that clean slate and that hope for a great season. Reality then will set in when you start playing those region games and then you start getting your record going. But talk about what kind of performance you expect from your team, an encore performance after that Sweet 16 run last year in this new Region 7 6A.
Well, I think that the fact that we did have a good season, that we did play in the state tournament, that we did advance to the Sweet 16, and then we lost with 0.6 seconds left in a game by 2 points to Chamblee, who had been ranked in the top 3 all season, really gave us some confidence that we can compete with anybody. And our schedule this year is a lot tougher, but we're a lot tougher. We're a lot tougher mentally than we were 3 or 4 years ago, and winning builds confidence. And we're a confident team. We know that it's going to be a challenge every night, but I think we're skilled enough and have enough experience now to handle the challenge.
You hit it right on the head. This is in 7 6A. Those of you who don't know, you just go and look. I mean, every team, pretty much a majority of those teams are literally state title contender teams every there. So it's pretty much every game, like you said, is very important, and it really is, it's cliche, but it's true. It's a one game at a time mentality, right?
It'll have to be, and we can't get down if things aren't going the way we want, and we can't get too high if we win a game that maybe people don't give us a chance to win, because we, as we saw last year, it's not how we're really do at the start or at the midpoint of the season. It's how we're doing at the end. And last year we're playing really well at the end of the season, and that's our focus. We're going to try to be ready for every game, but we're going to we know it really doesn't start counting until we get to the very end, and that's where hopefully we'll be our best.
Now, you mentioned at the beginning of this interview about bringing back some key pieces from last year, and that's very evident when you bring back players like Haley Guerin, Jen Lovell, Brianna Barrett, among others like that. You got some key cornerstone players, a group of girls that only comes by once every so often in high school basketball. Do you feel any sense of urgency among the girls, or even for you, that this has to be the year that you put it all together?
No, I hadn't felt that at all. I think that we do have some experience. We returned 3 starters. We returned 6 lettermen. I mean, and we hadn't been able maybe to say that in the past, but we have a good nucleus to build on. But it's not like, well, this is our, if we hadn't moved up in a classification, that would be the case. But in the past region, we could have been considered a favorite because we had the returning player of the year. We were region champs. We won 23 games. All of that. But to move up into the strongest, not only the biggest classification, but probably one of the best in 6A is going to be. We'd like to win the region championship, and we've talked about that. But realistically, we know it's going to be we're going to have to be at our very best to do it.
Is that frustrating in any way? Because you talk about that, bringing back the player of the year, winning the region title, and getting into the Sweet 16, and just, almost running the table and bringing back those pieces. If you still had been an 8-4A, I mean, you can sit here all day and say, what if?
Right. Well, and it's happened to a lot of different schools around the state throughout the history of Georgia high school. I mean, a good friend of mine coached at a place and had everybody coming back, and he bumped up into a region and they won 12 or 15 games. I mean, it's a tough thing. You just play with a hand you've been dealt with. Disadvantage, there is some disadvantage. Habersham is right at the bottom of the the enrollment that would put us in that, and most of the schools we're playing have over 1,000 more students, and the chances are finding 2 or 3 good girls basketball players out of an extra 500 or 600 girls is pretty good.
Yeah.
So we know that's a challenge, but we're going to coach the ones we have, and we're going to play, do the best we can with what we have, and we're going to expect to win, like I said earlier, and we expect it to be a battle.
Well, Coach Ed, thank you again so much for your time on Blitz. We look forward to you guys playing really hard this season. We're going to be watching closely.
Well, thank you, Brian. Glad to come.
And when we come back, we're going to spend a few moments with senior Haley Guerin here on Blitz.